We have long viewed our bodies as fortresses, protected by highly selective filters. However, researchers have recently discovered that microplastics have breached the blood-brain barrier, infiltrating the most protected organ in the human body. Exposure now begins before birth. Scientists are identifying traces of these synthetic polymers in human placentas, breast milk, and meconium, the first stool a newborn passes. This diagram maps where these particles accumulate, across the nervous, respiratory, and digestive systems, plus the placental barrier. Floating throughout our systems, these fragments leaching chemical additives like BPA and phthalates directly into our tissues, disrupting human development at the molecular level. To grasp how much synthetic material we are actually processing, we must examine the daily volume moving through our digestive tracts. In a recent study of human stool samples, researchers found 20 plastic particles for every 10 grams of human waste. Our bodies are constantly attempting to pass materials like polyethylene and polypropylene. A massive portion of this load comes from the air we breathe indoors. Measurements show that indoor environments contain up to 60 microplastic fibers per cubic meter. This data shows a stark discrepancy in air quality. Indoor microplastic levels are significantly higher than outdoor concentrations, meaning the places we spend the most time are the most contaminated. Our food and drink are compromised as well. Scientists have recorded 0.44 microplastics per gram in common table sugar and 0.09 per gram in bottled water. We are constantly inhaling and swallowing heavy loads of plastic from the most trusted everyday environments. To understand the damage these synthetic particles cause to our biology, we first have to look closely at the cellular level. Once inside human tissue, microplastics trigger oxidative stress. This occurs when plastics cause the mitochondria, the cell's energy centers, to malfunction and overproduce reactive oxygen species. These are highly unstable, oxygen-containing molecules that can damage cellular structures if they accumulate. This chemical imbalance acts as an internal poison. It undermines the cell's antioxidant defenses, leading to the oxidation of proteins and direct damage to DNA. The body also mounts a secondary defense. The immune system recognizes these plastics as foreign invaders and attacks them. But because synthetic polymers are unbreakable, the body stays locked in a continuous inflammatory response. This persistent cellular malfunction eventually causes macro-level health risks. This chronic inflammation leads directly to tissue damage in major organs like the gut and the heart. This invisible, microscopic crisis actually originates from the most mundane objects found sitting in a typical modern household. Synthetic clothing made of nylon and polyester is a primary source. The mechanical and chemical stress of washing a single load of laundry releases over 1 million microfibers into the water supply. Outdoor air is contaminated by tire wear. Every time a car brakes or accelerates, it sheds microscopic rubber dust that constitutes up to 7% of atmospheric PM 2.5. PM 2.5 refers to tiny airborne particles less than 2.5 micrometers wide that are small enough to enter the bloodstream through the lungs. We also introduce plastic through microbeads, tiny spheres manufactured into personal care products like exfoliating scrubs, flowing straight from our drains into the ecosystem. Our everyday clothes, our daily transit, and our hygiene products function as direct delivery systems for our internal plastic burden. You can take immediate, science-backed steps to drastically reduce your daily microplastic intake. Replace plastic bottled water with glass or stainless steel. Plastic packaging degrades over time, shedding fragments directly into the water you consume. Swap synthetic textiles like polyester for natural fibers in your clothing and home furnishings to stop the release of millions of indoor microfibers. Checking cosmetics to phase out products with microbeads allows you to cut off primary microplastics at the source and reclaim your biological health. Common wisdom suggests microplastics are primarily an oceanic problem, making seafood the main point of concern. The data reveals a different reality. A person actually inhales more plastic from the invisible dust in their own home than they consume from the seafood on their plate. Research comparing these exposure routes shows we take in significantly fewer fibers from eating wild mussels than we do from the air inside the dining room. The synthetic threat is a domestic reality, suspended in our own living rooms. Acknowledging it is the first step towards clearing the air.